Have you ever wondered what makes bodies tick? Are you creating the sexual reality you desire and require? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? What if your fantasies are not as strange as you thought they were? What if you could learn to be kinder to your body and kinder to others' bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life or lack of it affected other areas of your life? Have you lost your mojo and wondered where to find it? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here is the host of The Pleasure Zone, Body Whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Pleasure Zone. I'm so happy to be here tonight with you guys, and it is going to be a really fun topic. So we're talking about lots of different things, I'm sure, because it's me and Kim, and it always goes on to a tangent, so I love that. And our topic tonight, we actually started our topic with, pelvic floor health. And, I mean, that topic sounded interesting, and then it was like, well, what else could we call it? So I think the show got a name in the last, couple hours. And I really liked Kim's name for the show, which was something about taking care of our girl parts. So I think that's what we're going to be taking care of, our girl parts tonight. And whatever else we call it, whatever I sent in for the name, we're just running with that. So our show tonight, we're going to be talking about different things, different awarenesses that Kim has around bodies. And actually today, was that today, Kim, that I wrote to you? No, that was yesterday. I wrote to you about running bars and people having really exciting things show up in their body. That was yesterday. And so Kim and I both had this awareness that we're starting, we're going to co-create a business. It's just going to be a grin. That's it. It doesn't have a name. It's just that's how you're going to feel after you have a session with one of us, because a lot of people end up having spontaneous orgasmic experiences. So how awesome is that? And I was just kind of giggling about it. And Kim's like, yeah, me too. I'm like, woohoo, how lucky are we that we have people show up and have spontaneous orgasms? How does it get any better than that? So woohoo for us. And before we get much into the show, I wanted to kind of give you guys a brief. If this is your very first show of The Pleasure Zone you're listening to, sometimes we say naughty things. So sometimes we talk about bodies, sometimes we talk about sex, sometimes random things will come up in conversation. So if you happen to have young listeners in your home that are, possibly, 18 and under that are listening to this show, and you feel that they have sensitive ears and you wouldn't like them to hear this, please just know we do have interesting language on this show. Not always, but sometimes, so just to be aware of that. And also, you guys to have, if you've never listened to this show, just sort of an awareness of what it is that I choose to create this show for. And a lot of it has to do with creating awareness for people with their bodies, with copulation, with sexuality, and all the judgments we have around all of that, to create more space and ease with bodies. And also a lot of really cool, interesting things that people are creating and choosing for bodies that maybe you haven't heard of before, and energetic exercises, physical exercises, all kinds of things come up in this show. And a lot of it stems from a lot of my background, which I have almost 18 years of training in energy work, as well as body work and other modalities that I've actually been working professionally in for 18 years. And one of the greatest joys I have is to actually allow bodies to expand and have ease and joy, and whatever that looks like. So for some people, they sometimes do have orgasmic experiences on the table, and some people they feel really relaxed, and some people, the pain moves out of their body. And so for everybody, it's very different, and it's never two are the like, and also never two sessions are the like for the same person. So if your body is kind of interested in receiving something unique and something that you maybe have thought you've tried before, I tried energy work, but what if your body would actually like something that's completely different, and maybe maybe it's not me, but maybe it's somebody else that it's intrigued by being touched or having energy work or body work from. So I encourage all of you to just go out and explore who would be fun to be touched by. That's like my thing of the week. Like, who would you like to touch your body that would be the greatest contribution to your body, your money flows, your business, and all other aspects of your life that maybe you didn't even acknowledge your body was contributing to. So if I am intriguing and if you would like to ever have a session with me, I do sessions via Skype and I also do them in person. So feel free to contact me on my website, www.milicajelenic.com, and connect with me so we can create a session for you, whatever is required and whatever you desire, and we can see what can show up. And Kim is like an amazing little sexy nymph that I met at a class. I say she's little because her body is littler than mine, but really her energy is massive. So her tiny body is really fun to be around because I'm like, wow, you're like a little nymph. And I love that about you. And so I actually met Kim via the internet. How does it get any better than that? And Kim is a body worker, energy worker. She is like, I'm going to say what I know about you, Kim, and you can totally add to this.
Yeah, please.
And she has like capacities with bodies and sexuality that's so natural for her that it's kind of like breathing. The feminine essence for her is just like natural. And even to not even necessarily like have to meet her in person, even if you just go look at her picture on Facebook, Kim Coleman, just check her out. You might actually like get what I'm talking about, that she has this essence of sensuality that just exudes. It's such a gift. And that, you know, your capacity with bodies and working on bodies and your comfort with bodies is so beautiful too. So I just want to say thank you for coming on my show and coming to play with me and talk about some cool things and some really cool things that you do with your body. And I'll let you talk about that stuff, so I won't give it away. And what else can you add to your bio that I just created for you?
Wow. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Milica, for that. That was really beautiful. Thank you. And you know, I would add to that I wasn't always into my feminine, sensual essence. So it's really interesting because I used to be like as much in my masculine energy as I could possibly be. And so if there's anyone listening that is like, yeah, well, you know, I don't have an idea how to do that, actually your body knows how to do that and be that. And it is something that is within us, and when we allow it to emerge from us and emerge from within us, it does radiate from us and through us and into the world, and it is so yummy, and it is so sensual. But like many other women, I had shut mine down many, many years ago. I mean, Milica, you'll giggle at this. My winter attire years ago used to, because you know how I dress now,
Mm-hmm.
my winter attire used to be a black leather jacket with a hunting coat over it.
Naturally, girlfriend. Can't get more extreme now. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny,
that's
right?
Awesome.
And I was so totally into my masculine energy, and which neither one gets to be right or neither one gets to be wrong. Right. Mm-hmm. However, at that time, I was definitely not into my feminine essence at all. And so now is our time. Now the planet, there's like this tsunami of feminine essence that is sweeping the planet. And so have you noticed how many programs are available now for ladies and for women and you know, talking about the feminine essence, right? It's so
absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, and how much that is, and how much that is also the potency of choosing both energies, like where we shut off, you know, like you were doing the male energy and you were, you know, shutting off some of the softer aspects. But what if like that whole wave of femininity and feminine energy is actually like what we talk about as like the nurturing, kind, caring energy, and that's also the masculine energy. It's that energy of no judgment, that we're just that wave, although so many people have identified that nurturing, kind, caring energy as female. like that whole polarity of it, right? Like, what if all of that energy is in all of us, and it's just a matter of tapping into it, choosing it, being it, and then flowing it to everything.
That's exactly it. Because as you said so beautifully, and thank you for that, is whether we're male or female, we have a feminine essence. Whether we're male or female, we have a masculine essence. And so when we allow both, when we can receive and be and allow it to emerge from within us and really tap into it, you know, we create this being within ourselves that is so much more dynamic, so much more, I don't know, so much more grounded, so much more present. And because when we shut off any part of ourselves, we know we're creating separation. We're not creating, you know, oneness at all. We give great lip service to oneness, right? And so that's why this topic is great. You know, it's not just for girls, right? It's also for guys. It's, you know, whether you have a penis or a vagina, it fits.
Take care of all those parts. They're lovely.
Yeah.
I just like energetically caress all of your parts now. Okay, cool. There's this like roughness that I've noticed that people have this aggression towards their bodies that it's like we've misidentified what our bodies require in order to feel aroused. And there's this like sometimes what I've noticed kind of a theme is like people have had this like intensity or roughness with themselves. And when I talked to you, Kim, about some of the stuff you're doing about that, the difference between the Kegel exercises and the exercises that you do, I just loved the softness of it, that you can be kinder to your body and it isn't that force of, and I'm amazing, like, you know, I'm Kegel exercise queen since I was little. So now I'm like really curious about how to soften that and like what will that actually create in my life, in my body, and essentially when all of that shifts, like how does that also shift my receiving for money? Like I'm really curious about that. So actually Kim sent me this link today to get this product, which I'll be getting. It's called a Jade Egg. So we won't talk about that yet because we're going to go to break in about 2 minutes. But I'm fascinated by how we have even created these things. Like, so okay, ladies, in order to have your body really work well for an orgasm or after birth, and make sure that you know you don't pee yourself, do these Kegel exercises, and they do have some merit to them, absolutely. And what else is possible, right? So that's a question I hadn't been asking around those particular exercises. I just did them. So now I'm like, wow, there's so many things I wasn't questioning, even about body movement and exercise. Even though I do body work on people and I move bodies, it's like, wow. So where it's kind of really contributed to my body work in a lot of ways, where I can go, okay, we've been like creating sort of a more male, we would call it like a male energy. What if I switched it? Like, what would the feminine aspect of that look like with movement? And so it's been really kind of fun to play with the different, just looking at that, like what would this be like and what else is possible here, and inviting different movements into bodies that maybe weren't part of my training, right? But they are available in bodies and they can relieve and release bodies in a lot of ways. So I think that's so cool. And also just a lot of stuff that you were talking about with the Jade Egg, which we will talk about soon, fascinated me too, about how we were talking about one day how it actually creates, it's kind of like a consciousness thing, right? Can you tell that story about being judged and then the egg falling out? We have like maybe 30 seconds for that before we go to break, but if we go in a little further, we'll go into break after the story.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, you can even look at it as a tool of consciousness, and a way of letting you know when you're allowing yourself to be disempowered by somebody or something. The egg will fall out, so it becomes a tool in that as well. So it's a tool also of great presence. and we'll talk about that because it brings you to great embodiment and presence within your own self and the world.
I love that. And what a great intrigue segue into the egg when we come back from break.
You like that?
I did.
Cool. Cool.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
What does optimal cell health mean, and how can you create it? Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy by Swiss Bionics can improve your well-being in every area of your life. The PEMF mat stimulates cells to move and create space between cells for optimal cell function. How does it get better than that? Use 2 to 3 times per day for 8 minutes will improve circulation and immune function. Cell metabolism and repair begins, and mobility also will increase. Do you desire better health? If you're interested or would like a session, call 613-473-3805 or in Toronto. Call or text 416-253-1617. Monthly rentals start at only $300 per month. Is now the time to choose optimal cell health?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and today my guest is Kim Coleman, a friend of mine who is super sexy delicious, and she has lots of cool information on having your body be super happy with a really cool thing called, Kim?
The Jade Egg. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom. That was great.
Yeah. And you know what? So here's what's really cool. This was kind of something I did not know. When I learned this and I had this awareness, I was like, wow, that is really cool. So, Milica, did you know that our yoni, our vagina, is really connected with our heart? So for
I did know that, but I know a lot of people don't. So
yeah,
yes,
a lot
awesome.
of people don't know that our yoni and our hearts are actually connected. So ladies, guys, know that about your ladies. And so what does that mean? Why should I care about that? Well, because this is the way it kind of shows up. the tissue on the inside of our yoni, our vagina, our lady parts, whatever you want to call it, the tissue will hold a lot of our pain and our suffering and our heartache. It holds it. It's a really, it just holds it there. It's the tissue. It holds it there. And it's not a wrongness. We just get to go, wow, right? And so how many ladies have we known who, after they have an orgasm or have sex, with or without an orgasm, cry?
Lots. Right? I used to, for sure.
Yeah. And so what if that is that tissue being stimulated and being sometime roughhoused or whatever? None of that. So none of that really matters as to why. But the thing is our tissue in our yoni actually holds a lot of the energy in the tissue of all that sadness and all that pain. And so on that note, what's really cool is knowing that the heart and the yoni are connected. Just right now, all the ladies on the call, just for fun, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your yoni. A lot of ladies won't even touch their yonis. Probably not a lot of the ladies who listen to this show.
They started to since they started listening.
Yay. So one hand on the heart and one hand on the yoni, the vagina, whatever you want to call it. And just allow yourself to just be present with those two spaces and just notice and be aware of whatever it is that you're aware of there, whatever that is. And so you're also saying hello. So you're saying hello to the yoni and you're saying hello to the heart, acknowledging and aware that they are connected. And just notice that as you acknowledge that, just acknowledging that, what are you aware of? And so you're just saying hello to it, to those lady parts, one hand on the heart. And guys, this is a really cool thing to also bring your lady to. One hand on her heart and one hand on her yoni. Like, how hot is that?
It's hot, and it's like, yum.
Yeah, it's
like,
so
Kim, can
sensual.
I come visit and you can put your hand on my heart and my yoni?
Please. so imagine that, right? And so this is a way that I like to wake up every morning. And I don't have to spend isn't that amazing?
I do it, but I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
see, you
it's
were
just like
doing
been
it
very.
intuitively.
Yeah, my body's done that naturally most of my life.
Yep. And so that's awesome. Like, that's how the body whisperer, right?
But I wonder how many people. I wonder how many other people do that naturally, but like got caught as kids and were told, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
And then they stopped.
Yep.
So if there's judgments around that, we can just destroy and uncreate all of that times a God's million.
Yeah. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, pop, all nine, shorts,
boys and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that hand on the heart. Yeah, go.
Yep. Yep. Hand on the heart, hand on the yoni. And, you don't have to do it for 10 minutes. If you're like, I'm in the morning, I wake up and I'm jumping out of bed, fine. Take 10 seconds and just say hello. Just say hello to the yoni. And here's what's really cool, is the yoni will never lie.
I like it.
Yeah, the yoni never lies.
Say hello to your yoni, and your yoni never lies.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. Like, we're so many ladies, and this is changing. Yay, have been disconnected from that area of their body. I mean, my mom used to say to me, "Yeah, I don't even like to wash mine." I mean, she washes it. She's like, "I just do it really quickly. I don't like to have my hand on there." Right? in her
And
day.
I actually know, I know people do that, and like it's like, wow, but like, what if that's a lot of fun?
Yeah, and so listen to this. So when we're not willing to even touch our beautiful yoni in a way of washing her with grace. I mean, she's going to get clean if you do it quickly or not. However, when we're in this energy of aggression and don't even like to touch it, as my mother was, is that creating a healthy environment? Just curious. Right?
It's like a sad yoni.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why are you ignoring me?
Yeah, and so how has our yonis been responding to all of that? Right? How's our yoni responding to all of that? And so
it's like a retracting kind of thing. Like I get it, it's like a retracting. It's like pulling back, and it's like it's almost like it's hiding.
A shadow yoni.
Yeah, it's the shadow yoni. It's different than your shadow self. It's just your shadow yoni.
Yeah. And so so what if we were to begin creating a relationship with our yoni in a way that we didn't even know was possible before, just by simply hand on the heart, hand on the yoni, taking the time when you wash to not just think it's, oh God, just got to get my hand off of there, or whatever that is for you, if that's how you wash. No judgment, just awareness. And so what if we were to start creating more of a sacred, if you will, or a relationship of presence and of acknowledgement and of appreciation with our yoni? Yeah, what would that create for us? A happy yoni.
Our yonis are like magic, right? Like they assist in childbirth and orgasm and like creating the pheromones that bring people to you to make love to you. Like they're pretty magical.
Yeah, exactly. And so what kind of gentleness have we been with our yonis? What kind of gentleness have we been? We, as women, have been known to shove tampons up there, right? To get her done.
Yep.
Doctors' offices shoving instruments up there. All necessary, yes, but I'm saying, what if there's a gentler approach? Penises might get shoved up there, a finger might get shoved up there, and
dildo.
Yeah,
vibrators get shoved up there.
Yep.
Occasional fruit and vegetables, maybe. I don't know.
I can't wait to share a more gentle way to still have all that, and just a more softer. Because even the energy of shoving all that up there, right? How aggressive and invasive.
Yeah, it's kind of like a trash compactor when you say it that way. It's like, wow, we turned our beautiful yonis into trash compactors. What more can I shove in there? See if they'll just, okay, cool. Now we're going to put in the vegetables, and now we're going to put in that mechanical thing. Awesome. What else can we shove in there?
Oh, my God. I love your sense of humor. You're awesome.
Free the yoni. It's no longer a trash compactor.
Exactly. And we're going to actually learn how to yoni breathe when we come back, too. Because I think the break
I love that. Yeah, the break is in like a minute, and we get to yoni breathe. I'm excited. I don't know if I yoni breathe already, but I'm excited to find out if I do and if I don't, what that's like. Like, wow, I've done belly breathing, and I've done and now breathe into your root chakra, and now, and now connect to, I've done all those breathing and breathe with the tongue on the roof of your mouth, but yoni breathing, I'm stoked. It's awesome. Do we require taking our pants off for this at all, or just kidding? Okay, just need to know if during the break. Okay, cool. Is there prep work I require right now so that during the break I can take care of all of that? Very good. Awesome.
Might get a little lotion and
awesome. Little music on in the background. We're good. If you guys want to get that during the break, pants off, lotion there, music on. Kim's going to take us through an awesome yoni breathing. And when we come back after the break, we get to yoni breathe. How does it get better than that?
My yonis will be giggling.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
What does optimal cell health mean, and how can you create it? Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy by Swiss Bionics can improve your well-being in every area of your life. The PEMF mat stimulates cells to move and create space between cells for optimal cell function. How does it get better than that? Use 2 to 3 times per day for 8 minutes will improve circulation and immune function. Cell metabolism and repair begins, and mobility also will increase. Do you desire better health? If you're interested or would like a session, call 613-473-3805 or in Toronto. Call or text 416-253-1617. Monthly rentals start at only $300 per month. Is now the time to choose optimal cell health?
This is The Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and my guest today is Kim Coleman. And if you were here with us before break, you would hear that we are going to do some yoni breathing. Woohoo! So Kim is going to guide us through yoni breathing. I'm stoked.
Awesome. So as I was saying, like us as women, you know, there's been a lot of aggressive, let's call it insertion,
Yes.
inserted into our yonis, such as, you know, tampons, doctor's utensils, penises, fingers, you know, all that kind of stuff is pretty aggressive. And I'm not saying that we stop all of that, of course not. But what if there's a way of doing it that's soft and gentle, that is in such magnitude of ease and yumminess with your yoni? And so this is how we do it. So again, I'm going to use the example of a tampon because that's just what popped. And so for guys, you can think of, you know, when you're about to have sex with a lady and you are going to insert your penis, this is a really awesome practice to do with your lady friend. And so this is how we would do it. So we would want to get some, say it's a penis. Say we're using a tampon. Pick one. What do you want to use?
Let's use a penis for fun.
Yeah, And so first we want to get ourselves nicely lubricated. Now, coconut oil, big fan of coconut oil. You can't go wrong with coconut oil for lubrication, right? And so basically we want to get our yoni. So it's like we're saying hello to our yoni. Now, ladies, if we're talking tampons, you can just place your hand on your yoni if you like and say hello instead of just inserting that tampon up. And so next thing we're going to do is we're just going to allow the penis or the tampon, or once we get talking with the Jade Egg, which we'll get into, you're just going to place it at the opening of your yoni, and you're just going to rest there for a moment. You're just going to rest there for a moment and still saying hello and kind of, just letting it know and preparing the yoni instead of just jamming shit up there. And so you're just going to let it know. So you're kind of communicating and letting it know. So you're giving it that time to prepare itself, right? And so we're giving it its space. We're giving it lots of space. And so then, now here's how cool this is. As you breathe in, you're going to squeeze your yoni while you breathe in. Now, we're not pushing the tampon in yet. We're not letting the penis come in yet. We're just inhaling and pulsing, if you will, squeezing our yoni, holding for a moment. And then as we exhale, that's when we allow the penis or the tampon or the jade egg or our finger to enter this beautiful, amazing area of our bodies, our yummy bodies. And then we only go until we need to, so we don't jam it all the way in yet. We're not jamming her in there yet. So you just go that little bit. And then this is kind of called, so we're kind of sucking in the penis. We're sucking in the tampon. We're sucking in the jade egg or our finger or whatever. And so now, as you breathe in again, you're moving your vagina again. You're squeezing your vagina again. But again, what you're doing with the tampon or the penis or the finger or the jade egg is as you're inhaling and as you're squeezing, you're not pushing in. That's just a holding spot. So you're now holding the finger to where it was as you're squeezing in and inhaling in, and the penis is staying there. So we're not letting it fall out. We're not pulling it in. It's just a holding spot. Then as we exhale again, we allow the yoni, and it is literally like the yoni, our vaginas will suck it in. It's really quite interesting. And so when I do this with my Kenny, the way that we do that is we inhale together, and as I exhale, he inserts his penis that little bit more. When I'm using my jade egg, same thing. I'm inhaling, I'm doing suck, suck, suck with my vagina, my yoni, and as I exhale, I'm pushing my egg in a little bit more. And then I inhale. As I'm inhaling, I'm just holding that. I'm holding my egg, the penis, the tampon, whatever it is that you're using, in that place. So you're not pulling it in or letting it push out at that time. And so that is yoni breathing. And so we can do that with or without a finger, with or without a penis, with or without. It's just getting to have a relationship with your yoni in a different, delicious, yummy, sensual, and respectful isn't quite the word. It's more like connecting with, in relationship with our yoni.
Beautiful. That's lovely. And that is, the breathing is very cool. I know, like, my body has, I can't actually shove tampons up. So it's interesting as you were describing that, and I was like, that's actually the only way I can get a tampon in.
Mm.
So,
Just to breathe
and
it
I
in.
literally, yeah, and I was using the Diva cup for a while, and
Yep.
it was like like 15 minutes would go by, and I would be like, okay, breathe, and then relax, and then like, but my body like knew too that it was like the breathing and relaxing. Some of it maybe was like some training I had done, energetic training, where we would like breathe in, and then like when you breathe in, your muscles would your vaginal muscles pull up, and then you breathe out, and it just like all opens up. So yeah, I
That's
think that was
exactly
maybe
it.
some part of like martial arts training I did. All the
Cool.
things that I learned it in. Yeah. Funny. I
Awesome.
love it though. Like I love your way of going through it, because the way I had ever done it was kind of like only out of necessity. It
Right.
wasn't like out of the pure pleasure and joy of it.
Right. And
Yeah,
your
it was like the
yoni.
only way I can get it in is this, but it's not like,
Wow.
wow, how much fun could it be to play some other way with this?
Yeah. And see, you knew, right? Your body, you're very connected with your body. And so that's you listening to your body and receiving its wisdom.
Mm.
So how cool is that?
It is
Aware
cool.
are
I was
you?
like, it is cool, and it's cool because it's like kind of deleted a lot of judgments I had about like ease or no ease I have with things like tampons and other stuff. And it's like I've had lovers say like you're not letting me in. I'm like, just let me breathe. Like I gotta breathe to let you in. I know I'm like a
Perfect.
fortress. Otherwise it's like a fortress. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, and you know what? Ken, he's become so aware with me. He's like, and sometimes he's like, okay, now exhale a little bit more and really let yourself open. And it's like, wow, it just becomes
Wow.
just this amazing connection for you and your partner. And like I said, we're so used to just things going in there, right? And so for
Mhm.
me, I didn't know this tool at all, and I didn't have the awareness that you had. And so for me, I was never able to receive a tampon, ever. Like it was just not going to
Oh,
happen.
cool, right? Like I wonder how
Yeah.
many other women just can't, like, or it's tricky or uncomfortable, or that's awesome, right? Like how much, it's such a great gift to
Exactly.
yeah, because I didn't actually know it as a tool. My body, I was just like, okay, well, that was a meditation I did and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't really consider it like a tool in a way that you have like kind of given us this like sort of, it is a tool. Like here's a way that you can actually create this without, I would just be like, I don't know, I breathe, this thing happens and blah, blah, blah. How do I translate that for you? I love how it's been translated.
Awesome. That's great. And
Great.
it's and also with the tampon or the jade egg, as you're holding it at the opening, as you're, letting her know, your yoni know, what's about, what's happening, and it's kind of like you're asking permission on some level, right? And what's really
Yes.
interesting, what I've learned with the jade egg, which we'll talk about after the commercial break, what I've learned with the jade egg is she will let me know what angle it wants to go in at. So instead of me
Cool.
just, jamming it in. So for me, I didn't have that with the tampon, right? I didn't know that. And so I was just trying to put in. I was like, Jesus, can you put these things in wrong? Because this hurts. I had no idea.
And you were wearing lumberjack jackets, and that's part of why you had no idea. No, I'm kidding. How do men put in tampons? They don't.
Where'd this go? Yeah, and so the Jade Egg's an amazing tool. It's and it's actually a tool that you do actually. It is a not a virtual tool, and so it is something that creates. It is something that creates such an amazing relationship for you with your body that I'm really excited to share this one with the world and with everybody, and how I came across it and how I found it and my experience with it.
I'm excited about that. I was actually giving somebody a little brief on that today, and she's like already ready to get one. I was like, I want it. I'm like, woohoo, Jade Egg. How's it better than that? I wanted to say, like, part of what I didn't have an awareness of was, like, saying hello and, like, the conversation with the Yoni. So as much as I might have had, like, an awareness of how to actually get it in, but there wasn't like a, hi, how you doing? Like, how's it going, girlfriend? Like, I love that. Like, I love the like hello part of it. It's such a greater, and it adds to the invitation of receiving it to me.
I love the way you worded that.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Awesome.
So I actually can't see my computer right now, so I don't know when we go to break, Kim, so I'm going to let you take us to break whenever it's required.
Okay, so it's basically saying 1 minute to break, and I'm not sure how long ago that was.
Okay, so
and I just got the word now. Christine just typed the word now. Thanks,
cool,
Christine.
We can go to break now. Thank you.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
What does optimal cell health mean, and how can you create it? Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy by Swiss Bionics can improve your well-being in every area of your life. The PEMF mat stimulates cells to move and create space between cells for optimal cell function. How does it get better than that? Use 2 to 3 times per day for 8 minutes will improve circulation and immune function. Cell metabolism and repair begins, and mobility also will increase. Do you desire better health? If you're interested or would like a session, call 613-473-3805 or in Toronto. Call or text 416-253-1617. Monthly rentals start at only $300 per month. Is now the time to choose optimal cell health?
This is The Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and today my guest is Kim Coleman, and she's been letting us in on some super cool tools of having more of a conversation and communion and sort of like just really becoming friends with your yoni. And also, so she gave us a little meditation, and now she's going to tell us about the Jade Egg and how it has contributed to her life and what it is and what you do with it or don't do with it. So go ahead, Kim.
Thank you. Yeah, the Jade Egg is actually, it is an egg. It's smaller than a regular egg that would be in your fridge. and it's made out of real jade, so it is a gem. And it's really interesting. Like so what you do with this jade egg is all about pelvic floor health. And as we were talking in the beginning of the program, the tissue on the inside of our yoni actually holds a lot of our pain, a lot of our heartache, a lot of our grief for women. And so it's not like you're going to put your egg in your yoni and all of a sudden you're going to be on the floor crying or anything like that. It's not like that at all. It's very gentle. And so for me, as I was sharing a moment ago, I've never even been able to do a tampon. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this egg? Like, this is, if a tampon didn't go up there, what am I supposed to do with this? Well, it's really interesting because as I learned to sip it in with the yoni breathing, whether it was that, I'm not sure. However, here's what it is for me. When I have my egg in, I don't even know it's there. And it's not like I'm walking around being turned on like I've got a vibrator on. It's not about that. It's about pelvic floor health. However, the way that it can contribute to our bodies and their healing, and as I said earlier, our energy management right into our nervous system it's a phenomenon. It really is a phenomenon. And so, like I said, the egg, you place it inside, and it knows what to do. And it's got a hole in it, so you put some dental floss in it so that you can, for people who are worried about it not coming out. However, when I'm walking around with my egg in, there's just something so yummy and so sacred, and it really brings me to presence within my own body. So it brings.
You have a little gem hiding in there, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you've got this sacred gem, and it's like nobody knows about it, right?
It's awesome.
And it's just and it creates this. So let me talk about some of the ways. Now, again, of course, they can't say this is exactly what it does and it'll heal this, and nobody can make those claims, right? However, here's some testimonial stuff that I'm aware of. It will definitely keep you juicy. So for women who are aging, it'll keep you juicy. It'll keep those, the tissues, it'll enliven the cells, so it'll wake you up inside of that part of your body. It'll begin to wake you up again. Women who have had childbirth talk about, geez, it's like it's been dead in there. It's gone through a lot of trauma, right? And so it begins healing in all those areas. So it wakes up all the cells. For me, my cervix was bleeding, and I went and went to the doctor, and he's like, yep, going to snip a piece, and I had no idea what that meant. And after it, I said, you will never snip a piece again. And so I started, this is just before I got my egg, and whether it was the egg that healed me or not, or that contributed to my healing or not, I have no idea. What I can tell you now is totally fine. Totally fine. I'm no longer bleeding. And so there's so many testimonials on things like, women start experiencing less yeast infections because they're creating this relationship with their yoni. There's, less bladder issues, less bladder things, less vagina or pelvic pain, so many different things like that. So I could go on and on and on about the things that women have said, let alone how yummy you feel, right? Let alone how yummy you feel, but all of that. Yeah.
So we have 30 seconds to end. Can you just, 20 now, can you let everyone know how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah. Kim at growingbeyond.com. So Kim at growingbeyond.com.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I had such a great time. I'm sure we're going to have you back.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for those who are buying the egg, You've got tools.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on a2zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.